Hey everyone, welcome to another art video, Halloween edition, of course, because it's almost Halloween and I still don't have a Halloween costume. So, anyways, art edition or Halloween edition. So, before we get started, make sure to subscribe, like the video, and turn on notifications so that you get posted when you get notified whenever I post a brand new video. And subscribe, of course, like always. Comment down below what you're gonna be for Halloween. All right, so let's start. So, what is this project called? Halloween Fever. Some examples you have. I don't know how to get rid of this. This was in Pinterest. We have some like Halloween haunted houses, more haunted houses, some like I don't know how you zoom it. There we go. Some pumpkins, some houses, scarecrow with a fence behind it. You have in this fourth picture witches stirring a potion, a witch that looks like a fire background, but it's probably not. But if it is, then it may be it. So materials you'll need is one sheet paper, of course. You'll need watercolors, of course. Does not matter what type. It has to be watercolor. I was trying to find the ones where I think this might be the ones where my art teacher has some where they're like instead of dry, see that these are dry. When I touch a color, it's not gooey, it's just dry. Hers are gooey and they're like a gooey type and they're like already gooey. All of them are already gooey. I like those types. Maybe she just has them wet or something. Not sure. Brushes. I have a brush already in here. This is a watercolor brush. I also have these, which these are used for my watercolor colored pencils, which are on the back. But these, I think, can be used for watercolors as well. Water, of course. Glitter. Glue might be needed, but I will take a look at that and let you guys know. Not normal glitter. Halloween glitter. Orange and black glitter for Halloween. If you don't have glitter, you can skip out of the glitter. And if you don't have watercolors, let me show you a substitute to that. Substitute for watercolors is you take just a blank piece of paper you have or a scrap paper that can be used as a palette and use the colors that I tell you to use. So I'll just use purple, but we're not going to be using purple at all. So just make a circle with the marker as like your one of your palette colors. There's your circle. There's your little circle. And then go ahead and wet a brush. Nice and wet brush. Go ahead and wet your purple with the wet brush, of course. And as you can see, it kind of turns out as a little paint palette. And look, I am painting with it just fine. So if you have markers, they're really cool. If you guys already knew that, great. But if you have markers, they're also a watercolor substitute. So step one is to grab your paper. Really great start for when you do watercolors is finding the half of your paper. So either if it's this paper or if it's bigger paper, like for example, like mixed media paper, you have like here's a small size of mixed media paper. If you're using a bigger size, like this size of mixed media paper, about this size, this is about like probably 2 times of this or something. Then go ahead and find wherever your half is. My opinion, I think mixed media paper is a little bit easier because I was doing a project similar to this in school. And with a smaller, like this size sketchbook, you find half of your paper and you paint it the color. I didn't do that with mixed media paper, but I practiced in my sketchbook. So that is a really important part to do and just either mark it or remember where it is. This part of the materials list, I would highly recommend if you are a person that doesn't really handle paint too well and gets it everywhere. Like me sometimes, but I also handle paint very well. I know like if I get it, I know like if I get it on places, I know exactly like what to do and like how to not get it on surfaces too. That's what I do every single day in art that we do watercolors. So when I do watercolors, I make sure all of that comes first. And then thinking, do I need a surface? Am I gonna make a huge mess? Really depends on how much paint you use. So if I already ripped it, you are a person that does make a mess, you can have a towel. I'm gonna use just tissue paper since I just kind of had it in here. I'm just gonna use tissue paper just in case something happens. But this is like a watercolor is really easy to just clean off. So if I do make a mess, it's not really big deal. Okay. You can see me paint over here. Step 2, paint the top black. Go ahead and get your watercolors. And go ahead and I'm gonna have to test to see which one is black. Just test real quick. I think this is not black. This is like that's like that's like a really light black. So either one, I guess, works. Either one. I don't know. They both look black. You gotta get like a lot of water. Like a lot of water on your brush. That's enough. And I'll probably stop it because you don't want to watch me paint a whole half. So again, find your half, find where your half is. I usually like start painting and then I get like, when I feel like I'm getting close, I find the half. Measuring it. Do not worry, it doesn't have to be exactly half, it just has to be close or similar to half of the paper. Does not have to be exact. I need like a little line for my paper that tells you. I don't know if you can see it or not, but it's a line. It's really small. But it's really small, but easy for me to read. Indicate where it is. Just tells me, oh, okay, I need to stop painting black at that point, and I need to move on to orange. Like telling you, okay, Rachel, that is half of the paper. Please stop and move on to orange. So go ahead and continue painting. Or if you already have started, great. I recommend using, this is the type of brush I use during art. Well, not these brushes, because these are normally watercolor colored pencils. That's a tongue twister. Watercolor colored pencil brushes, but they can be used for watercolors as well. But brushes I use in art are these, and I think I prefer these. But there weren't a lot I have. But normally what I use during art is a small one, medium size, and a big size. You can use whatever size you want. That's just the recommendation. So go ahead. If you have not started, go ahead and paint. Or find half of your paper and then paint top of your paper black. And you're probably gonna add like a lot of water here. I'm trying to find out what color this is. Oh, that's like blue. Okay. Thank God I didn't use that. Yeah. Thank God. So I think a lot of water on your brush gives like a really dark black color. Oh yeah, my art teacher's paint also comes out really, like when you dry it, it comes out really sticky. That's what I like about her paint. Or actually, I'm gonna pause this real quick. I could use this. That was from, oh, what day was this? I did my final when we were doing a choice themed, I would say, fall watercolor project where you had a choice of mosaics, playing with patterns, or like a haunted house thing. I was doing a haunted house because that was kind of easy. This was my mess up because when I stuck in my folder, all the paper stuck. This, I let it dry in her classroom. So I might use this for this project because I don't think the black that I have is blending as much as this level. But then again, I'm gonna have to use the orange that I have and mix it with this orange. So I don't know how good that's gonna turn out, but I can always try. I can just always try, right? So go ahead and I'll give you guys some time. I'll pause this. If you need to pause the video, finish your black, you can. And I'm gonna transition over. Okay, update. Just found out that I've painted a little bit of black here, right? Just found out that it's actually not black. It's kind of like a brown grayish. I don't know if you can tell on camera, but it's a brown grayish. So the only thing that means is that I don't have black in here. Because all the colors that look like black, because this is purple, just double check. Yep, this is for sure purple. Oh, for sure purple. Okay. I'm testing that color. That only means one thing, right? This is brown, grayish, red. I thought this was orange, but it's yellow. Yellow or orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, brown. Brownish, purple, reddish, I think, yellow, green, green, blue, purple, white, or blue, white. That means I don't have black in here. That's gonna be not a huge problem because I have black on here. And all I have to finish is the orange. Yes, it's not really half and half, but all I have to finish is the orange. But then you're gonna be like, Rachel, wait, how are you gonna do black for the house? Because we're gonna be using black for the house because I forgot what it's called. I can search it real quick. It's called basically a silhouette, like a silhouette of a house, because when you paint something black in the shadows, like the painting we did of the tree, right? This painting right here, I'll show you guys. Of the tree we did probably like a few weeks ago. That's basically a silhouette right there. So anything basically like painted black that like looks like it's in the shadows, basically. That's my definition of a silhouette. I don't know if it's yours, but it's mine. So what you're probably asking, what am I gonna do for the black? Well, there's basically, it comes down to this one, basically. Earlier in the video, if you rewind a little bit, I mentioned that if you don't have watercolors, you can do the marker, I'll call it marker palette trick, where you basically use markers to substitute as watercolors. That's probably what I'm gonna do for black. And if it's not gonna turn out right, at least it's better than gray. What did I say? Grayish, blackish for that color. Grayish, brownish. It will be better than that color. All plain, all blacks that I have
like two and look for more. And I'll use it as a palette, basically. And just paint the house as it is. Alright, so just pause the video if you're not ready to move on to step 3. I'm gonna move on, but if you're not ready, pause the video. If you want to wait for it to dry and then add the orange to the bottom, you can. I'm gonna add the rest. So I just tested orange in here, the orange. This really tricked me. This is not orange. This is yellow. I don't know. Watercolors these days, am I right? This is orange. This is yellow. And here's a yellow too. Oh my. I know. Crazy. So this is orange, and I just tested it. Kind of looks actually really similar to this. So I'm hoping I can just fill the white up, and then I'll be good to go. Go ahead and start painting your orange. And I'll get a little clip of me painting. And even if it doesn't really match the orange, just be flexible. Like it might not, but just be flexible. I almost used the yellow. I used the yellow again. Okay, I'm gonna pause right here and I'll fast forward it, or just fast forward. I'll just say that. And I'll get to the part where I am done painting. So fast forward. All right, we have pretty much of it all painted. What else? Halloween colors. If you're not ready to move on to step 4, pause the video. I am gonna move on. Oh. So first, wait for it to dry. But like I kind of just did a little bit of this. But waiting for it to dry is a good idea. Step 5 is paint the house, and we're going for either one of these examples, either this house example or this house example. Will I have enough time to do this? Yeah, let's go on. Okay, so one of these 2 examples, go ahead and paint it. Either example works, but paint it on the orange side because it will not show up on the black side. And I'm going to do my little paint palette thing I was talking about. I'll do it on the side right here. So go ahead and I'll kind of get a little clip of me doing it. I wish you could do it with Sharpie, because Sharpie is a good source too to use. I'm gonna do this first example. because this one's kind of hard to kind of do a little bit. And of course, the black is not going to be as dark. Probably need more water in my blood. Okay, it's not turning out as dark as I want it to. You know what? Another substitute that you can use if you get this is if you get the paint off really quickly, is just draw that. If you're really only if you're really having trouble with paint, just draw it. I mean, just give up and draw it. With the black that you need. Okay. I'm going to do a little transition. This might be a life changer if it's not tried out. That actually might actually save my life. Like it maybe just saved my life right there. Testing something. Testing something's always good to do. I have just found another. That's oh dry erase markers. I've tried it with the palette technique, but it doesn't work. I'm guessing because it's dry erase markers. Hence the name. They don't work as palette ones. Dry erase markers, dry erase. Let's not make the house too small because remember the roof is a thing. We don't really want to do the roof in the black background. How am I gonna do my roof? Gosh, that's the problem. Oh, you can see it. Okay, so that's good of a roof. Alright, so just color it in or paint it in. Let's leave a little room. Okay, let's go ahead and do them. Leave like a little space. Okay, so there's the good thing about this is that the house doesn't have to be painted. Okay. Now that you have your house, now that you have your house, wait for it to dry, or if your dryer is like me. Let's move on because I need to move on anyway. To step 6 or step 7. Okay. Step 7 is to add any detail, like witches on the side with their hands up, which I'm gonna do. Pumpkins on the side of the house, an evil plant, the house lights are on, kind of like in example 1 and 2. So go ahead and add some extra detail. So like you could do like here, my camera is facing. You could do a hill. It doesn't matter what technique you do the hill.
It doesn't have to be fully black. Okay. There's the hill. I might add like a little tree at least in the center of the hill. Just like a little one. So there's a little tree. You could add a pumpkin, like another hill. Okay. Now that you've done your little details, now that you've done your little details, or I'm gonna add some like witches in. I don't know how I'm gonna draw that. Just like people, if you're on this, if you're on this step, I guess what you could do is I'll go back to the example slides and I'll zoom in specifically on these slides to kind of help out what witches look like. So like basically like I'll do maybe a couple on each side. And the closest thing to basically do this with is with witches because they involve with Halloween. Don't really know how to draw their bodies, so I'm just gonna do these look like trick-or-treaters or something. I've not known how to draw a witch. It's just kind of really hard for me to kind of draw a witch.
All right, there's kind of my witch. I have one witch and two trick-or-treaters on the side. I can't really do another witch because that's all the space I have. Now that you have your detail, now that you have your detail, it's time for step 8. So you can, this is optional as it says. You can, if your paint does this, if it doesn't, you can't really do it. If you have the gooey paint, you can definitely do this. Scrape with your fingernail. You can like scrape letters if you didn't know that. You can scrape Happy Halloween if I might not, because like I'm doing it currently right now and I can't really see the lettering, so I'm not gonna do that part. And again, this part is optional. Okay, so basically, how are we? And I know there's a lot of questions running through your head right now, but I think the main one is, how are we gonna add glitter? Great question. Take your brush and clean it off with water. My water is over here. Just so that I don't get my computer wet. So get your brush wet and get the black background wet, because this is the sky. The water is kind of gonna act like glue, basically. It's gonna act like glue. It's gonna make your glitter stick. And if you don't have glitter anywhere, then your project's finished. If you don't have glitter, your project's finished. It might be hard to see the black glitter, but I'm gonna try. I'm gonna go for it and try. Okay, so that might be enough water. I hope. Okay. I'm gonna be adding I'll add both of them. And I have like this type of glitter. They're like in capsules. This is kind of the fun part. The part you've all been waiting for. It kind of looks like sand. Not gonna lie. So you can't really tell if it's orange unless you add like a lot of it. That actually looks really cool. I'll show the camera in a second. I'm gonna finish putting water in, because you kind of have to put water in on both sides. Oh, this glitter's gonna explode. No, it's not. Okay. Black's gonna be kind of hard to see, but I mean, if you want to do this, you gotta include black. Just for Halloween purposes. Oh yeah, by the way, what I mean by Halloween fever is, I think there's a made up, I don't know if fever actually means this, but Halloween means holiday. Fever means you're feeling. So like, either if you're excited for Halloween, that's kind of your fever. Sad for Halloween. Personally, not to break your guys' feeling, but I like Christmas more. Let me know what you guys say in the comments. Christmas or Halloween? I'm on the Christmas side. Okay, so now I'm gonna kind of cross it a little bit. I'm gonna have the orange go over to the black side. It's gonna be a Halloween party. Add a little bit more water. I know this is a long video, but a little bit more water just so that the orange can stick there. Just a pinch. Okay, I think that actually looks really good. Just drying, and then yeah, I like it. Okay, and I think that is, no, there's two more steps. I forgot. Wait for it to dry and hang it up or post a picture of it in the Padlet below. And that's, the Padlet is also in the other art video we did. So thank you for participating in this project. Mine actually turned out really good. Once it dries, I will actually post a picture of it in the Padlet once it dries. So head over in the Padlet now, and mine will actually be in there. So, like I said, subscribe, like the video, turn on notifications so you get notified that when I post a brand new video. Comment below the things that I have said in the start of the video and the end of the video. Comment down those things. Something I said to comment at the start of the video, and then I asked if Christmas or Halloween. Comment one of those. But most important, subscribe. But anyways, have a great day, everyone. I know this was a long art project, but it's fun. They're fun too.